Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Disney and Pixar's Elio. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sorry, I'm just leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on Elio, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, this movie to me, it was on my radar. I was still interested to see it because, it's Pixar, and, a motivated Pixar is one of the best studios working today, right? They know how to tug at the heartstrings, they know how to make you feel something, and just make, life okay for the most part. But, as I grow in my age, which it's not a lot, I'm only 28 years old, which is very fitting for the next review that's coming. But in my 28 years, it is now starting to become very apparent that Disney and Pixar it's not pretty much catered to me anymore, right? It's for the children. And that is okay. But again, Pixar is at its best, where yes, it is, a scenario that is intended for children, but the whole family can still get along with it. So now when I go into these types of movies, I'm kind of thinking, I'm an uncle now. Would I like to spend the day with my niece or nephews and take them to the movies to go see this movie? And would it be worth spending the dollar amount to go do so? I would say borderline yes. In a lot of ways, this movie is very cute. It's very sweet, and it is short. It does not take up much of your time. I do believe it's only an hour and 50 minutes long. But I do think there was a lot of potential here for this movie to be absolutely great and to really have a really good message within the film. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the story beats of it because I don't think the trailers really communicated that well on how the story goes besides the initial hook, which is, hey, kid wants to be abducted by aliens, and he does get abducted by aliens. That's pretty much the gist of how the movie goes. And then, of course, there is something much more to it. And there is a family dynamic storyline that is between, a parental figure and Elio quite a bit. And again, I'm not going to go into how this relationship is and what the execution of it is because, again, the trailers just don't communicate it that well. But I do think we could have hit this a little bit more because that was the heart and soul of the film to me, too, to a degree. And I just don't think we hit it all the way. Now, with that said, I still felt something when those emotional beats started happening. Not necessarily for the parental figure, who I think if I would have felt for both her and Elio, then, I would have been, probably on the borderline of tears, to be honest with you. But since I was just like, oh, I'm really glad he got to hear that. Oh, I'm really glad he got to experience that. It still made me feel something. But I just feel like that second gear was there that we know Pixar can get us. And, it's just one of those indications where, hey, you're used to bringing home A's. And I don't remember what the last Pixar film, I don't think it was Inside Out 2, because I think that was 2 years ago. Did Pixar take a break year in 2024? I can't recall, but, Inside Out 2 got me crying. Elemental got me crying. And, they're used to bringing home these A's and A pluses, and this movie to me is, like a B. Because, one, I think this movie was in a race against the clock to get to the premise, the hook, what the trailer is. Kid wants to get abducted, and he does get abducted. And it just, we're on a no-tempo offense, to use football terms, to get to that point where I do feel like we could have used those moments, maybe give it a little bit more time to let these parental family scenes really marinate so that later on when we get to these other beats, it just packs a little bit more of a meatier gut punch. Now, overall, that is a minor criticism, right? Because again, this is a family film. You're taking this to take the kids to. As an adult, do you really want to be in there for over 2 hours for an animated film? Yeah, maybe not. Me, I'm all for that. But again, these movies aren't catered to me. This is catered to the parents and to the children, and they have to pick a side. Hey, we'll keep it short, and we'll get base level of the emotional beats that we want to get to. There's no problem in that whatsoever. However, my one real true criticism of the film, and I do believe it is a fair criticism, is the ending. I am not a fan of it. I think it is too dismissive in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect, a tragic tale when it comes to animated films, right? And I'm talking about, oh, I want to cry, I want to feel something, all that. Again, I'm not looking for tragedies, I'm not looking for drama by any means. But children, I think, do need to learn the lesson of the consequences of your actions. And Elio messes up pretty big time. Like, it is very clear, like, hey, this is your fault. You tried your best at doing something and you tried to maneuver a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, you messed up. And when we're all wrapping everything up, it just becomes dismissive and water under the bridge in a lot of ways. I do feel like we could have still got to that happy ending, but there still need to be that consequence, if you will. And it comes down to one decision that I just can't get into without it being spoilery. But yeah, I do think the ending was just a little, hey, everything works out in the end, when that just isn't the case, especially when you mess up as big as Elio did. But overall, look, it's a fun time at the movies. If you want to go, right? If I had to rank this on the lemon scale, sour lemon at the bottom, expired store-bought lemonade, a lot of bad, but hey, there's good. Store-bought lemonade, hey, there's good, but there's a lot of bad. Lemonade, it's a movie. Fresh and squeezed lemonade, really good with some minor problems. And then strawberry lemonade at the very time, because it is the best kind of lemonade. To me, Elio is just a lemonade. It could possibly have been a freshly squeezed lemonade, but again, those family beats, those emotional moments, just never got quite to second gear where it does become not just a good story, but a great story. And when it comes to Pixar, I do kind of expect great stories when they have shown that they can do that in the past before. Like I said, a motivated Pixar is one of the best studios working today. And then, also the ending just really fell flat for me. That is my only real true criticism, but I do think it's a fair criticism nonetheless. But let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within a review. I do greatly appreciate it. And of course, hit that subscribe button, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.